Good morning, puzzle combaters. Alright, so we are down to the last few days of the Halloween heroes. Now, I know I've touched on them in other videos, but I thought I'd go over just the specials in general of all of them. Just kind of walk through. There's 2, 4, 7 of them, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So Growl, I don't have any of them here. I'm in my alt account right now, my lake account. I did manage the land Scarecrow. No, that's not it. That's the Batman villain, which I always want to relate him to. It's Strawman, but he's not leveled up yet, so I thought I'd just go through them like this, because the only ones that I have in my main account too are Growl and Strawman, so... I haven't landed any of the 5-star heroes, but I have fought all of them, especially, what, is this the third Halloween? I think this might be the third Halloween event. I'm not entirely positive on that, but yeah, so this guy, very unique special, very good, actually, and let's go over the family bonus, too. So, this is Spookfest. It's so hilarious. But you get extra charge generation for playing the Halloween heroes together. So you could always, if it's a 4-star tourney or something, have Scarecrow. I'm just going to call him Scarecrow because I'll never remember Strawman. And Growl on a team together, for instance, and they would get a +3 charge generation out of it. So that's pretty unique. And if you have the 5-star heroes, I always play them on a tourney. Defense as well. Alright, so he's only average speed. The ink explosion is 9 points though, and the next breakpoint is 58 to be fast, I do believe. So the ink explosion does help him. And he reduces the charge of all enemies by 15%. Now that is always awesome, the charge stealers. Sometimes they're situational. But this guy reduces the charge of all enemies. He's wicked in some of the tourneys, actually. Especially if there's a no yellow tourney. All enemies get -24 attack for 4 turns. So not only did he just steal the charge and possibly prevent some of them from hitting your team, even when they do, it's -24 attack for 4 turns. Very awesome special. I honestly wish there was like a 5-star that has this ability, but there isn't one yet. The caster gets taught that prevents enemies from using special skills on the allies. So on top of stealing the charge, the minus attack, the dude literally sacrifices his own butt and takes all the hits for 4 turns. It's quite hilarious, actually. So when he first came out a couple years ago, I do believe it was, he was a pain in the ass. There weren't too many counter attack ones. Well, now most people that have stuck around for that long have bigger teams and can counter him fine, because there are a lot of yellows that can counter him if you catch him before he goes off. Like Echo has charge stealing, and I know Ox as well, the green Mac, can steal charge and prevent this guy from going off. And then of course you got specials like the Mayor now and Umbra that does like minus attacks, or Umbra where she'll have it'll cast on a teammate, the special, so that's neat. And who else? There's Chull that can counter him as well. So there are lots of basically charge dealers or charge messer-uppers now. I found him quite a pain in the ass though when he first came out. So very neat hero. I don't mind him at all. So Senka, this just reminds me of Senka, the coffee lady. Restless Apparition. So she's slower. She's an arcane shadow color. 225 damage to the target and nearby enemies. Shadow minion for caster and nearby allies with 20% HP and 12 attack inherited from the caster. So I guess if you're going to put her into emblems. Defenses and attack to help out the shadow minions stay alive longer. Caster and nearby allies get 15% charge generation per shadow minion. Removes buffs from the target and nearby enemies. So that's good. It's like a sure shot in that way with a buff remover on 2. The 2 sides and the target that she hits. So possibly 3. Doesn't remove all buffs from the whole team, but still that's helpful. There is not enough buff dispellers in this game. So not bad damage for an AoE hitter. She's slow. However, that's 9 speed points on the explosion. I do believe that would put her at 50. So she would be average then. That would put her right at that break point. So that's not bad to keep in mind. I really don't know what it's like to fight her, though. I haven't seen her in any defenses yet. That defensive stat is a little low at 683. But her health is not bad. That really is a low defensive stat, though. She's got a high attack stat. I don't know. Maybe with the emblems, you'd want to go... Yeah, attack and defenses as much as possible to keep her alive, I guess. I don't think she really needs any more health. I don't know. That's a different one. So we'll see how much she comes into play. There are a lot of lovely purples, though. As a minion caster, I really like Talon. Talon's in my main account. So we'll see how much I end up seeing her in battle, I guess. Because I really haven't yet. The only time I saw her, she was a wing, and I didn't really have a problem getting rid of her. Alright, here we go. Scarecrow. The Scarecrow wannabe. He's a killer hermit. Alright, Reaper Sweep. So he's already fast. That is one benefit. But there are a lot of good 4-star yellows. There really are. And there's a heck of a lot of good warfighters that would probably get emblems over this guy. So you got Leon, you got 8-bit. I still use Aiko personally. I think a lot of people probably still use Rex for the defensive down, and he is a full buff dispeller. One of the full buff dispellers in the game, since that's very rare, and he's fast as well. So, I mean, I've seen this guy a little bit on defenses on wings. And considering he's a fast AoE hitter, that's not a bad thing. Like, his defenses aren't that great either, but he's not a bad wing, to be honest. I've had a few times where I couldn't get rid of him because he did keep reviving because they did happen to put emblems on him. So he's a pain in the butt that way. He can kind of just sit in a corner and then all of a sudden, boom. He's ready to charge. He's already charged up and ready to hit. So that's a nice bonus to putting fast snipers or fast AoE hitters in his case on the wings. So, and that's not a bad amount of damage. And increase but 13% per each dead enemy. I don't know that I've ever seen that come into play when I've taken them on. Where it's overpowering or anything, because it's really not. Nice little bonus if he happens to kill. Or there's dead enemies. Summons a Chrome minion for the caster with 26 HP, 70% attack. That's not bad for a minion, really. Inherited from the caster for each enemy killed. So there's the kicker. Yeah, because I don't recall him having a Crow minion very much, and that would be why. I never really read up on that. So it's from each enemy killed if he happens to kill some. So yeah, I just don't think we'll see him too much, even though I do think he has his uses, but in my main account he is leveled up and I don't use him that much. It seemed to favor Leon and an 8-bit over anyone else on yellows when I need a yellow stack, so. Okay. Karlov, yet another 5-star yellow. They love their yellows in this game. It's insane. So he's a salt class. Alright. Not bad. Stats, really. 692 for defenses. Embrace of the Damned. So he's an ancient vampire baron. 125% damage to all enemies. So now I haven't played against him in battle, just through the event, and he was annoying. I gotta say, he was annoying. That's not a lot of damage to all enemies, but I don't think that's necessarily where he shines either. He's got the bleed, so 240 damage over 3 turns on top of that. Initial damage can be quite overpowering. I don't think he needs a nerf or anything. I'm just saying, like, it can be overwhelming, I guess, would be a better term there. For your team, especially if you don't have a cleanser, to get that off of there. A lot of the healers are cleansers, though, so that's one way to counter that. The caster steals 45% of any healing applied to all enemies for 3 turns, and that's where this annoying hero can keep on living and living and living. Is stealing that, because I find that about Wheels, is it, from season 2, stealing the healing. So healer stealers are kind of annoying. There's only a couple of them in this game, though. It's certainly survivability mechanism, and that's where I kept when I was playing through the seasonal event, I kept trying to prevent him from going off in the first place. So, you know, I could use Chull, or I could use Echo or Ox or any of those ones like that to prevent it. My main account, I used Chull and some charged drinks and just kept going at him that way, so Karlov didn't even go off in the first place, because that is annoying. And the stealth is another thing for survivability that can keep him going. So on top of the stealth, he gets 28% dodge. So if he's in stealth mode, you're going to waste your special hitting him. You want to hit him only with tiles at that point. And wow, it took me a couple times. I'm like, why the hell am I missing? And then I clicked on it and went, oh, dude's got stealth. Probably should have read that before I started going through this event. And then I would have known to just hang on to my special till the stealth was off. Because that is similar to Visor. When he gets a kill, he goes into stealth mode for, I believe it's 3 turns as well. He doesn't give himself dodge, though. This guy gives himself dodge. So this guy goes way out of his way to survive on anything. I guess that's a vampire for you, though, isn't it? Alright. And there it just does say, it says something like this on Visor's hero card, too. Immune to new status ailments and indirect damage. So he wouldn't take a bleed, for instance, when he's in that stealth mode. So it's just hilariously annoying because he just hangs on no matter what once his special goes off. That was actually kind of funny. It's like, oh, duh. Why didn't you read the card first? Now, these other guys I'm used to, but Senka and Karlov are the 2 new ones introduced this year, so I just didn't familiarize myself with them enough before I started playing through that. Alright, so this guy is slow. He only needs to hit 43, though, to drop a tile off charging up, and, like, the Regalizers, I think, 7, or I don't know, the blue speed weapon. Basically any blue speed weapon will charge him up, because there aren't any that are only 4 speed points, because he only needs to hit that 43, so that is good to keep in mind. He's got low, I don't know, I guess the defenses really aren't that low. 1479 for health. I don't know. Kind of seems a little bit low on defenses, but 350 to the target and minor damage to nearby enemies. So he's an AoE hitter. That is a good amount of damage. This guy's annoying when he hits, though. Maybe that's probably why, because that is a fairly high amount of damage. So it's probably why he's got a bit lower defenses as the counterpoint to balance it a bit. But then once he goes off, he's going to heal the caster for 45% of damage dealt. So again, he's got a survival mechanism built in. He's a major league hunter. I never read that before. Okay, whatever. Jason, major league, is baseball too, and this guy's got all hockey equipment on him, including a Jason mask. That's ironic. The target can't gain charge for 3 turns, so anytime any hero messes up charge speed, they're likely really good to use. He is on my list of ones I hate to hit, actually, because I do find what he does once he goes off quite devastating. So, you face him as a tank sometimes, and if you can't get the tiles to get rid of him, and he goes off a couple times, it's pretty much lights out for your team. Like it will be, because of course others beside him will be charged by then too, and it can be quite the short match. So he has decent survivability, and he still is tank worthy, even though they've put out some pretty devastating blues as tanks like Panzer and Tremor. So, but yeah, this guy still remains, survivability is good, and he still remains a good tank worthy. All right, so Blair, she is really decent, but you don't see her too much. So she's a fast sniper, of course, and then you got the defenses that are quite low, probably as the counterpoint to that, because that's quite high damage, is decent for a sniper. But her stats aren't that great. The attack is, but the defenses and health aren't. So if you needed to put her on your defense team, then, and you're going to emblem her up, I would go with health and defenses, not always necessarily attack, because she's just, her stats there are so poor, and that's probably one reason why we don't see her too much. There are a lot of decent reds, especially with that Bunkaroo, which likes to throw the fan blades at you, and there's a lot of decent reds that have been introduced. Haruto, as one of the vanilla heroes, still maintains a place as one of the better tank options in the game for reds and that. So I don't think we'll see her too much, to be quite honest. And I never noticed she had a cat on her shoulder before. That's cool. All right. So the 368 damage over 2 turns, though, is quite devastating as well. So she honestly doesn't make a bad wing if you have to put her on defense, because that's, I know when she first came out, and this event first came out, she was quite annoying to try and deal with, because there were quite a number of people that put her on the wings like that, and then if the target dies, the nearby enemies receive that blaze for 2 turns. I had that happen to me a few times, and it's like, damn it, I need a cleanser to go off here and get rid of that blaze. So she's kind of a unique hero in that way. If you need a good red sniper, she's not bad. She's honestly not. But like I say, there's a lot of red options out there that I think people choose over her. Alright. Who is after Blair? Ithaca. I want to always say, I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced, but I always want to say the TH. Ithaca. Vengeful Spirit. Okay, so don't see this one too much, and I don't think we ever will. So you got her as a medic class. Well, is there not... medic class is what Cassinia is, right? So anybody that's got Cassinia is gonna put the talents on Cassinia. So, and there's other medics. Like, I believe that's what Coyote and... Is it... Now, I do have them here. Is it both? Yeah, both Anastasia and Coyote are medics. So you're gonna see people put their emblems on those and not necessarily Ithaca. And she's the last one. Okay. So she doesn't have a bad special, and of course 50 is that break point where she would drop a tile off charging, but there's only that one Bargo or whatever it is that is the green speed weapon. I don't know of any more other than... I managed to get it in this account. I was shocked. Yeah, Relic Hunter Bargo with the 6 speed points on it. So this would help make her functionally faster, but that being a weapon of the month, it's probably limited in how many people have that. And she's like, that's a good amount of healing, but it's only for her. If she was a healer for the team or a healer for those next to her as an AoE hitter, like Zidane does, we would probably see her more. Zidane's not the only one that does it either. The purple hero of the month does that too, Letitia. She hits and then heals, but this is just recovering health for herself. Caster and nearby allies get 34% attack for 3 turns. Okay, so that's not bad. That's like that kingpin looking purple hero of the month that does attack up and that sort of thing. The caster and nearby allies get 34% defense for 3 turns, so that's not bad either. But she doesn't share any of that health, so that always kind of confused me about this one, because it doesn't seem like it's that great of a special overall. Now, this is where she can get you, though, is where the 60% chance to be revived as ghouls. It's quite a high percentage that the revive happens. And they are pretty easy to get rid of once they do revive. 50% HP inherited from the revived target. So that can get you, but in all honesty, she seems to be a hero that's pretty easy to get rid of, especially when you consider how powerful some of the 5-star greens are with the hoppers and the mortises. We might see Rearden come out quite a bit since he's a minion fighter. And he looks okay to me, that's for sure. And then, of course, you got Emma and some of the other vanilla heroes that aren't too bad. I know most people don't like them, but Dasha is pretty solid. So I just don't think we'll ever see her very much. And then you got Janesaw. We're seeing Janesaw quite a bit more from Monster Island now. At least I am. I don't know if you guys are, but yeah. So this one I don't think we'll see a heck of a lot. So 620 attack and 620 defense. Special skill, Ghoul Bite. And that is 170% damage to the target. I don't think she's ever messed me up in a match other than when she first come out, when this event first come out. There were a few people that tried her as tank, and that kind of did mess me up, but other than that, I haven't had a problem getting rid of her whenever I've seen her on a defense team, so probably why we don't see her too much. She definitely has her uses, though. But yeah, this could keep you alive. The fact that she does the ghouls revive. This could certainly keep you alive on a war team when the ghouls keep coming out. As long as she's alive. if the other allies beside her are dead. So I don't know. I think she just maybe needs to share that health with everybody. It would be nice to have a green healer like that. That is besides the 4-star ones like Throttle and Wyatt. So I think she just needs a little bit of a buff like that where some of that healing goes to everybody on the team. That's my take personally. And then we probably see her a lot more and she'd be a lot more competitive. All right, folks. So that was a bit of a rundown of the Halloween heroes. And if you got them, some of them are definitely worth it. Some of the other ones, not too sure on, but yeah. And Senka and Karloff, like I said, I haven't seen them too much, but that's just my opinion based on what I can read of their cards. So there's some info to mull over for you folks. All right, everybody, take care.